Welcome back to this five-part series on preparation for MFE program and beyond. So in the last video, we talked about some prerequisites, especially from an academic foundations point of view. Today, let's focus on building your technical toolkit. So the programming languages, some mathematical concepts which are needed, financial software that will become your daily companions in your MFE program. So let's start with programming. Usually, we focus on three languages which dominate quantitative finance, which are Python, R, and C++. So Python has become the primary language in many MFE programs due to its versatility and extensive libraries. However, in one of the subjects, I remember computational finance, we had a choice of using Python or C++. So either one of those can become your primary language depending on your interest area and the roles you're targeting. So focus on mastering in Python. You should focus on mastering pandas for data manipulation, NumPy for numerical computing, matplotlib for visualization, and scikit-learn for machine learning, applications of machine learning in quant finance. These are some of the very basic libraries you should be knowing. Apart from these, there are a lot of other libraries and tools which you should know, but these are like the basic fundamental ones. So practice working with financial time series data, specifically calculating returns, analyzing volatility patterns, implementing basic trading strategies using this language. This will give you an overall perspective of the basics and fundamentals of this language, as well as how it's actually applied in real life scenarios and projects. R remains valuable for statistical analysis and econometrics. So if your background is primarily in Python, spend some time understanding R's syntax and data structures if you have time, because R is a very powerful language in terms of its statistical libraries. And it might be used in some places at work or in a lot of projects during your MFE program. Next is C++. This is a very crucial language for computationally intensive applications like high frequency trading, complex derivatives pricing, and the like. And its performance advantages make it irreplaceable in certain contexts. So maybe you can consider completing the QuantNet C++ programming for financial engineering course before your program begins. And this is in addition to any other prerequisite courses which your university already provides. There are a lot of Python courses and resources, especially on Coursera, which you can explore. Now, regarding mathematical foundations, we touched upon it a little bit in our previous video, but highlighting that you need to ensure proficiency in calculus. So particularly multivariate calculus, differential equations, and stochastic calculus is a must. I remember during my MFE program going back to my 10th or 12th grade books to actually go through the derivatives and integration basics, just to ensure that I understand the advanced level, which is taught and used in MFE. So before coming to the program, if you review all of this in advance, it'll benefit you. Then linear algebra, which includes matrix operations, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, again, which you've already studied in the 10th or 12th grade, should be sufficient before you come for the MFE program. Probability theory, including random variables, distributions, moment generating functions, all this is a must and used very frequently in projects across MFE, across all the subjects in MFE. Statistics, including hypothesis testing, regression analysis, time series analysis. And again, I have provided a math guide and a probability statistics guide as a learning roadmap, which will be useful in quant finance. So watch these videos and download the guides to give you an overall perspective of how and what all you can cover exhaustively. Now let's talk about the financial software platforms you're likely to encounter. So first is possibly a Bloomberg terminal. Usually, or mostly, universities have this shared Bloomberg terminal across all the students who can use and get familiarized with this terminal. This is the industry standard for market data and analytics. So familiarizing yourself with basic navigation and completing the Bloomberg Market Concepts certification if possible. I know I was supposed to complete it as a prerequisite to my MFE program, and that was a recommended certification course. But check with your university, or they will give you instructions on which is the best one to pursue. Then is financial databases. So WORDS or WRDS, which is the Wharton Research Data Services platform, we mainly use that during our MFE program, and this is the main database we use for a lot of our projects. So this will be helpful to play around with. If you get a chance, if you have access to it, you can play around with it. But just getting familiarized with what it is and how to navigate it will be beneficial. And these are not essential, but they may benefit you when you're actually doing the projects and assignments for your MFE program. Apart from that, some universities and programs use FactSet and Capital IQ, which also provide historic market data. So understanding these database structure, query methods, this will give you an advantage, and you'll be able to spend more time in the analytics part than the data part. Then programming environments, getting comfortable with Jupyter Notebook for Python, RStudio for R, and even Visual Studio Code, sometimes if it is used. Learn version control with Git and GitHub. I've always talked about this in my other videos. You should have a GitHub profile and upload your projects there. This will benefit your resume and job applications. So maintain clean documented code repositories, and this will benefit your projects. And even in job applications, usually corporates look for something very organized, and that's how they operate. And you having this already in place will set you apart. Then with Excel and VBA, a lot of corporates do use Excel, so Excel is not dead. Even though programming languages are used predominantly, but Excel is definitely used everywhere. So despite the focus on more advanced languages, Excel remains widely used. Advanced Excel skills, particularly financial modeling and VBA programming, they are still valuable. In fact, a lot of companies also encourage you to create test lives using this of a model using Excel. That actually helped me personally understand a lot of models in depth. Some of the practical preparation steps in this case is building a small portfolio project which analyzes market data, implementing a basic trading strategy on that, or pricing a derivative, and then documenting your methodology clearly. So this will help you in a lot of aspects. Firstly, getting an idea of how to fetch market data, how to implement a project. This will help your assignments get completed faster. This will help in your resume building when you build your GitHub profile, for example, and also in your job applications when you can talk about a certain project and the concepts which are underlying this project. The second is practice implementing key financial models from scratch. So even though you've learned Black-Scholes option pricing model, CAPM, multi-factor models, or gauge volatility models, if you've studied these academically, you can also implement them, and that will increase your understanding even more. Plus, it'll give you practice in implementing it using a programming language. Join GitHub and create repositories for your code, like I mentioned, because this will serve as a portfolio and demonstrate your programming abilities to potential employers. And lastly, participate in quant finance competitions. There is a World Quant International Quant Championship. You can apply your skills in realistic scenarios, and Kaggle competitions. And there are many other competitions which you can take part in even after joining this program, MFE program. So in our next episode, we'll discuss career preparation strategies, including internship, recruiting, and securing teaching or research assistantships. But remember, consistent daily practice with these tools now will pay dividends when your program begins. So I hope this helped, and I'll see you in episode 3. Until next time.